Tonight, I'm going to be taking a look at a game called Mervel United from, I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's CMON or CMON Games. But it's a 14 and up game for 1 to 4 players that focuses on various Marvel characters. And it's also one that at this point has several expansions out and available for it. So this one is essentially the core set, the first version that came out before any of the new expansions. So for this particular set, we have a rule book, and we have location cards. So throughout the game, we have multiple locations that we'll be moving around to. Here's what you get for villains. We've got Red Skull, got Taskmaster, and we've got Ultron. But then for heroes, we've got Ant-Man standing on a coin. Even the coin, the detail has the proper eagle back of a quarter on it, so that's pretty cool. We have the Wasp. So Wasp is a movie version in her armored costume. We have Black Widow. Kind of a Nightwing thing with a pair of Eskrima sticks. We have Captain Marvel with her mohawk look. We have Iron Man. Hulk. Gotta get better about figuring out where they're centered. And Captain America. And these decks are called their Master Plan decks. So as you go through the game, you'll be playing cards from the top of the Master Plan deck in an order of 3, 1, 3, 1, whereas the heroes get 3 cards in a row, and for every 3 cards the hero plays, the villain plays a card. So the cards make up what's called the storyline, and you'll have all of your cards laid out in a row because the heroes can actually benefit from cards played on the previous turn on their active turn. And then there are mission cards for each villain that have 3 separate missions available. These will be in play in every game: defeat thugs, rescue villains, and clear threats. These missions are completed by filling all the blanks in on the card. And as you complete them, play changes somewhat. So if you complete rescue civilians, that mission is discarded, but because you completed a single mission, play increases to a 2-to-1 ratio, where the heroes only play 2 cards before the villain gets to play 1 out of their Master Plan deck. Here are the villain stats over here. So for Red Skull, we have 4 hit points for a 2-player game, 8 hit points for a 3-player game, and 11 hit points for a 4-player game. And that applies to the single-player game also, depending on how many heroes the player chooses to have to manage at one time. So that's the basics of what the box contains and some of the basic setup rules. Villain dashboard. Villain acts after every 2 cards, so that ability is unlocked after you clear 1 mission. because regardless of which of the 3 missions you clear, they're always going to slide to the right to unlock the abilities from left to right. So completing 1 mission, villain cards every 2 hero turns. 2 missions, the villain becomes vulnerable to damage. And 3 missions, you get to draw a hero card. So clearing the 3 side missions don't necessarily win the game for you. They can benefit you due to the fact you get to draw an extra card once you've completed the 3rd mission. But otherwise, the victory criteria for the game is to defeat the villain. Now, notice on each of the location cards, there is an end of turn criteria. So this is actually a bonus that helps you throughout the game, but those end of turn cards are going to be covered by conflict cards until you manage to clear that conflict. And then we have a couple of villain cards that have that BAM action. And the BAM action initiates whatever it says on the villain's card. So for Red Skull, deal 1 damage to each hero in Red Skull's location and increase the fear track by 2. So you can build a larger action track by deciding how best to play your cards so that they add on to what's available from the previous card. There's a bit of strategy that can be involved that way as well. Like I said, we'll come back Saturday and do a playthrough. But for now, I thought maybe we could go ahead and take a look at what those other expansions that I have include in them, so you can see the kind of stuff that you would be adding to the game if and when you chose to get expansions for it.